Hello everybody, and this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you another viewer cast, looking at another, I believe it would be AricTaylor's alternate account? I don't know. Or maybe he changed his name. I don't know. Well, he sent it to me, so I would assume that's him. Anyways, we're taking a look at a PvT, trying to get an idea of what went wrong with this game, and yeah, kind of give him some pointers as to maybe some suggestions on how to deal with what he's dealing with. So we're gonna go ahead and speed it up to kind of the critical moments. As far as the build goes, the only critique that I have about the early game build, you go for a 12 gateway, which is fine. I mean, obviously a little less economical, but no big deal. The scout usually doesn't go out after the second pylon. It goes after the gateway. That way you ensure that you can get in here and kind of see what's going on. Because if he does wall off, you don't get any idea about gas timings and things like that. Anyways, minor issue. Cybernetics core goes down pretty good, decent time. Everything's looking okay. You scout around with your probe. I'm not sure why you scout around with your probe, because your other probe, I don't know where it went. I guess it died. Well, let's see. Yeah, you got in. You saw one gas, so you know he's not in your base, so you don't need to worry about scouting around your base. So getting gateways up, which is fine. Getting off a stalker, also fine. Already got a zealot out, good. Now, if you want to scout, with these units, not your probes, because obviously you want your probes to be mining at all times, because minerals are fun. Anyways, so one thing that you could do is, maybe scout around your main with your, your extra units, or even go take this watchtower just to get an idea of what's going on. So let's see. Looks like we're going to be dealing with a little bit of a Reaper harass. So he comes in, actually comes around at a... Wow, you even see it. It, happens right in front of your face. Oh, that's not good. Your warp gate's up. That's great. You're getting off a fourth gate. At this point, you haven't really thought about expanding. I probably would have gone maybe without the gateway and gone with a robo faster. I'm not sure. Early upgrade. Probably could get away with this in Gold League. I'm not sure how effective this would be in Platinum or Diamond. I've never seen any builds with really early +1. Doesn't really do anything for me. Anyways, looks like you lose one. Maybe no probes, so you luck out, or 1, 2. One thing to do, as opposed to sending your probes outside of your mineral line, send them all to one patch. Like, box them and then right-click on a single patch. That way they all kind of go to that one single patch, and it gives you enough time to kind of get into position to deal with the Reapers. And then the Reapers won't be running around, chasing your probes, and they will actually be running or staying in a relatively decent area of where your stalkers are, so you can pick them off. So yeah, just small things. It doesn't look like you managed to take out any. Getting the robo facility down, like I said, probably should have gotten that before the fourth gateway, but not the end of the world. At this point, you don't really have any map vision, and/or / you don't really know what they're doing. Now, after seeing a couple Reapers, you're probably... I know my first instinct would be he's probably just doing like a Reaper expand, so he's probably looking to take an expansion fairly quickly. And you are choosing to continue on getting units and continuing pro production, which is... Pro production is good, but getting the units out, I would have probably tried to put down a quicker expansion, and then obviously Chrono boost out this observer to kind of get an idea of what's going on in his base. So +1 is almost done. Now, I'm kind of curious to see, go ahead and get that up, if you go straight into +2, or I mean +1 armor, and it doesn't appear so. So you're getting your expansion, your pylon down bottom. Now, okay, Stargate. You come in and you scout You see the factory, you see the starport, and you see barracks. So I'd be curious to know as to why you decided to plant down the starport. Um, he's building a reactor on the factory. You can see that. So you're probably looking at double double medevac production as opposed to anything mech to start off with. Also, you probably want to be moving this observer down to kind of the front of his ramp because obviously you want to know what kind of army he's got. Because if you had done that, you would notice that he's got a whole bunch of marauders and like no marines. Um, so in that case, I guess the Stargate's not the end of the world. Anyways, so continuing on, getting down more pylons, not getting pylon blocked, which is awesome. Still not getting any +2. He doesn't scout the. So you're getting an oracle. So it looks like you're going to try to do some oracle harass. Now, one critique that I have is this is a very stalker heavy composition, and marauders just eat up stalkers for breakfast. It's just in general, it's very difficult to hold this kind of a push with this many stalkers and no zealots. Zealots are very, very good against marauders because they tank the damage, and then zealots do, I believe, I don't know if they have any like plus, just as targets ground. Yeah, they just do a lot of damage to marauders in general. So it's generally fairly good to have kind of more of a mix of zealot, stalker, sentry. Plus, the sentry gives you the option of doing the guardian shield or throwing down force fields to force him from running away. So looks like we got the Reaper coming in to do a little bit more harass. You surround it, you lose some mining time with that, no big deal. And then we've got this push. Now, good, good. The Oracle is here and not running over to his base, because obviously if you don't hold this, you die. So yeah, good choice. So doesn't look like it does a lot of damage to. Okay, so you hold it off fairly well. Definitely went a lot better than I thought it would go. So you kind of pressured a little bit. Yeah, see, you're still getting stalkers, and this versus mass marauder is just it's gonna die. Queuing up lots of probes. Wow, that probably needs to get fixed a little bit. I would say at most 2 probes is adequate to be queued, not 5, because that is 300, almost 300 minerals that you're just tying up queuing your probes. And that's 300 minerals that you could be spending getting a robo bay or things of that nature. So want to look on to getting that. You're finally getting your armor upgrade, which is good. And then also, you probably should be throwing down a Twilight Council as well, because you want to continue getting your +2 and things of that nature. You see, let's see, what have you still have scouted that. You go in, looks like you take another look as to what he's got. You see more barracks coming down. You see reactors on those. So yeah, so far, you're probably looking at dealing with some more aggression. Looks like you get a pylon blocked a little bit on the bummer side. Build several more. Yeah, I think at this point you just don't have any Met presence. I would definitely recommend keeping like a stalker back here, maybe a small force up here, just to keep tabs on what's going on, because obviously you want to know when he's pushing out, if he is pushing out, and nothing says that by holding this, once you see his army, just take your army and move it back. That way you at least know when he's coming, as opposed to seeing his army come into your vision right here and being like, oh crap. So map presence is definitely something you need to work on, as do I. You choose to go in with the Oracle, and the Oracle gets massacred by these 2 turrets. But, ooh, I didn't even realize that you scouted that. You scout 2 Ghost Academies. So you're looking at dealing with lots of funness with with maybe nukes. Um, let's see. You're saturated in both your main. Whoa, oversaturated in your main. Getting down more gateways. Not a bad idea. You should be looking to take a third at this point. You've held off most of his pressure, and you've got a decent amount of army to hold a third. You still really don't have an idea of if he's still continuing to go mass marauder. So, like I said, map presence is kind of key at this point. You want to know what he's doing and what to be looking for. Now, in general, Protoss cannot survive without splash damage units, and that is the one thing that your army lacks. No Colossus, no Templar. You haven't started kind of going in that direction. You're just now getting your Twilight Council. Had you gotten this back at the, I don't know, 9-10 minute mark, you'd probably already be working on +3. So by planning that down later and focusing more on getting up more Void Rays and more Immortals, your upgrades are going to be lacking a little bit. Now, I don't know. Let's see. He is on 1-0, so you're not doing too bad. But still, you could be on +3, which is significantly better. So, anyway, so he's pushing out. Let's see, vision. Yeah, see, like I said, without that map presence, you don't know what you're dealing with. You have no idea if he's coming to attack you. You have no idea. So he scouts your army. You move it back to kind of fake him. Where does this observer go? Looks like you send him straight to your opponent's base. Yeah. Now, one thing that I have seen several pro players do, and I think I kind of like it, PvT, with as viable as drops are now, early game, roughly around the 10-minute mark, I would recommend having 3 or 4 observers. Now, basically the purpose of these observers are to keep tabs on where everything is. You're going to want one observer kind of at your back, patrolling up and down, looking for drops. You're going to want one observer kind of not quite to the watchtower, but just maybe out to here. That gives you vision of things coming here. Then your third observer is going to go kind of over in this general region if he swings around this way, and then your fourth one obviously goes with your army. Now, on this map, especially on this map, by taking this third is very hard to keep as a Protoss player. If he comes here and you leave your army here at your natural, you're not going to make it in time to deal with this. So going with this third is way more recommended. It's just easier to hold. So you cut yourself some slack. Anyways, gonna continue on. Gosh, this is a long replay. So he gets up a couple of the sensor towers. You get an idea of what's going on. Sends out a handful of Marines. You cancel that. Well, that's kind of curious. Why do you cancel that? I want to know. Do you scout it with your observer? Okay, you go, you plant it down. Your observer's over here. You see the sensor tower. You see that sensor tower. You come in. You don't see anything. It's already halfway done. Why do you... Oh, he scans it. I see. Okay, that makes more sense. So he scans it. You cancel. And you move on your merry way. And take the more appropriate third base. Good. So you go in. You engage. Now, as far as armory composition goes, good using the prismatic alignment. So that's definitely a plus. As far as Marines... He's still got a handful of Marines, so he's still going to be able to attack your Void Rays, but overall, that engagement went really well. Now, you have one of two options behind this. You can either continue to pressure, which, I don't know. Let's see. Let's speed it up, see what happens. So you're moving along, moving along, moving along, and then you probably get to the planetary fortress and say, I'm done. Oh, you see the nuke. Um, yeah, pushing in there that far. Once he started doing this, I would have backed off a little earlier than you. This kind of goes back to my previous comment about having splash damage units, because had you had storms, man, you would have taken out like all of those SCVs, and he wouldn't have been able to do a thing about it. Um, so obviously without the lack of, with the lack of splash damage units, it's gonna be really hard to compete. Try and take out a planetary fortress. It's just difficult in general. So transferring probes, good. You're mined out of your main, which is not good, obviously. One thing, I don't know. You don't have that many resources. You're still kind of behind. You haven't done any damage. You know, this game has been very one-sided. He's come and attack you, and then he's lost the engagement, so he's retreated, and then you kind of, forced him back, and you haven't done anything. So by leaving your army here and not doing anything about his aggression, you kind of have. Okay, so he doesn't choose to engage. So you push back. Should hold the watchtower. Come on. Let's see. He's got the sensor tower up here. Honestly, I would have just sent like a handful of zealots or something to just take it out. Because the likelihood of him having units up here, 0. Let's get real. Yeah, I just feel like you've played this really passively. You haven't gotten charge or blink, which is never good because obviously charge lots are super super awesome against marauders. Plus, it gives you the option of doing these type of things. Now you come in here and you scout. Wow, that was pitiful. You scout his third, which is a good thing because now you know he's got a. Well, I guess it's his fourth. You know he's got a fourth, so you got to do something about it. Now you push across the map. Now, one of two things is going to happen here. One, he's going to surround your army and completely annihilate it. Two, he is going to just go straight for your main or your third, take it out, and then come home and deal with it. Because you're not going to have enough time to kill off his fourth and then get into his main. You're just not. So it's definitely, for him, all he has to do is maybe send a handful of units, go take out your third, and then come back and deal with you. So this move is very, very risky and not recommended. I probably would have sent maybe like 6 or 7 stalkers to deal with this, because at least that forces him to lose mining time, and then you can also take out the sensor tower while you're at it. I'm gonna continue bugging you about this sensor tower because this should have gotten taken out. Anyways, so yeah, you move in with your entire army, which is not smart. He already moved. He already kind of gets out of the way, and you more or less just walk into his army, and his army is just bigger than yours, so you just die. And at this point, he's just so far ahead. You don't have the, you may have what 10 gateways. Yeah, you have 10 gateways, but it's like you can't do anything. You don't have enough production to deal with it. Your resources are kind of low. You're still trying to get up a third. And when I say third, I mean like third mining, well, more like second mining base. And at this point, it's just kind of over. So I guess the big takeaways from this game are scouting is essential. You need to do probably a little bit more of it and kind of have a map presence just to know what's going on and understand, when you're going to be attacked and things like that. 2, I would say watch your timings for your bases, because your third was a little bit late. By putting it over here and then canceling it, and then it got delayed a lot, not for any particular reason whatsoever. Had you just planted it down here the first time and he scanned it, it would have been no big deal because your army's just sitting right there. And then your composition, especially early game, needs to probably be a little less stalker heavy. Had he gone for mass marine, I would say that it would be fine, but in general, you don't know what he's going to come with. So by having a mix of stalker, century zealot, you kind of give yourself a little bit of an edge early game. So, let's see. Overall, I think the early game, was played out fairly well. I would have liked to have seen the Twilight Council go down before the 16-minute mark, but you know, you're in Gold League, so it is what it is. As far as APM, let's see. You're averaging about 118, so you're getting up there. Um, I know in some of my games I average somewhere around 200 to 260, and those are obviously platinum diamonds. So, you're still a little bit of ways as far as like your multitasking and things like that. But overall, not too bad. Um, so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed kind of my commentary about what I thought. Feel free to send me a tweet or leave a comment in the section below, or heck, shoot me an email. I don't care. Um, anyways, if you have any questions about some of the things that I said, feel free to let me know. Um, I'm pretty accessible. Also, if you're viewing this kind of on the side and not AricTaylor, feel free to shoot me an email with some of your replays, and I'll be happy to do this for one of your replays. Also, if you would like to see me play some of my Bronze to Masters Leagues game live, I do have a Twitch account. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. That link will be in the description. And as I mentioned, I am actively participating in the Twitter fad that is the Twitter fad. So feel free to follow me there. Also, if you want to see some of the games or some of the players that I tend to watch and kind of builds, people who builds I copy, I guess, to some degree, or adapt to. I've got In Control and Grubby in the description, as well as it's Sase. That's who's in the as well as I believe Sase. So feel free to check out those guys, follow them, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time.